Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. We're tackling something super relevant for Aussie businesses today. Mobile first web design.
It's huge, right?
Definitely. And we've got this awesome article from a local web design company. Right away, they hit us with the stat over 20 million Australians are online. That's a lot of potential customers, and so many of them are on their phones.
Yeah, no kidding. You can't ignore the mobile experience these days. What's cool about this article is how they emphasize meeting your audience where they are. And increasingly, that's on their smartphones.
Totally. So let's break it down. What does mobile first even mean? Like the article says you design for the small screen first, then adapt for bigger devices. Seems a bit backwards, no?
It can seem that way at first.
Yeah.
But think about it. When did you last use your phone to browse? Probably pretty recently, right?
Just this morning, actually. Checking my email on the go.
Exactly. Everyone's using their phones for everything now. Online shopping, booking appointments, the lot. And if a website's a pain to use on a small screen, forget it. People will be gone before you can say bounce rate.
Makes sense. So it's all about making that mobile experience smooth.
Totally. And fast. Did you know even a 1-second delay in page loading can mean a 7% drop in conversions?
Seriously, 7%. All right, speed is crucial. Got it. The article also mentioned this is actually more cost-effective in the long run.
100%. Imagine building a whole desktop site, then trying to squish it onto mobile later. Nightmare. It's way more efficient to start with mobile and scale up.
Makes you wonder why anyone starts with desktop first. The article also talked about Google's mobile-first indexing. I gotta admit, I needed a refresher on that one.
It's basically Google saying, hey, everyone's on their phones now, so we're going to prioritize sites that are mobile-friendly. If yours looks like it's stuck in the dark ages on mobile, Google won't be showing it much love in search results.
Ouch, so not only are you losing customers, your search ranking takes a hit too. Double whammy.
Exactly. Visibility matters just as much as a good user experience.
No argument there. So the article digs into the nitty-gritty of mobile-first design, starting with responsive design. Before we get too far, maybe we should clarify what that even means.
Good call. It's one of those terms people throw around. Basically, it's not just about shrinking things down, but how the whole layout and the elements adapt to different screen sizes. Like, have you ever seen those websites where the text is so tiny you need a magnifying glass, or the buttons are impossible to tap? That's the opposite of responsive design.
Oh, tell me about it. I once tried booking a flight on my phone. Let's just say it involved a lot of frantic zooming and accidental clicks.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
But with responsive design, the website automatically adjusts, so everything is easy peasy to read and navigate, no matter how small or big your screen is. It uses these things called breakpoints. Basically, they tell the website how to rearrange itself at different screen sizes.
Oh, okay. So it's like magic, but with code.
Pretty much.
Cool. So instead of cramming everything in, you're optimizing the layout for each device. And speaking of making things easier, the article also talked about simplifying navigation, especially on mobile.
Super important. They use the term thumb-friendly navigation, which I love. Picture this. You're on a bumpy bus ride, trying to find info on a website with one hand. You need menus that are easy to tap with a thumb, not a tiny little mouse cursor.
It's all about that one-handed, on-the-go experience. A lot of us Aussies are living that life right.
Big time. And that actually leads us to our next point. Speed. The article mentions the under 3-second rule for page loading. Let me tell you, in the digital world, that's a lifetime.
I can imagine. 3 seconds feels like forever when you're waiting for something to load, especially on your phone.
Totally. We're impatient these days, you know. If a site takes too long, people just move on. Think about it. If you're trying to check out the menu at the new cafe in Sydney, you're not going to wait around for a slow website.
Nope. Next Google result it is. So we've got responsive design, easy navigation, and speed. What else makes for a top-notch mobile experience?
Content is key. Once someone actually gets to your site, you want to make sure everything's optimized for mobile.
Makes sense. The last thing you want on a tiny screen is a wall of text, right?
Exactly. Concise, scannable content is the name of the game. Think about how you use your own phone. Probably a lot of scrolling, scanning, looking for info quickly. Long paragraphs are a big no-no for mobile.
It'd be like trying to read a textbook on a roller coaster. Not happening.
Right. Much better to break up text with headings, bullet points, visuals. You know, make it easy to digest on the go. Especially in Australia, I reckon.
For sure. We're always on the move, commuting, grabbing coffee, whatever. Need that info quick and easy.
Exactly. So ditch those giant blocks of text and get to the point. Now, there's one more design principle they talk about that I think is super important. Touch-friendly elements.
Oh, yes. Those tiny buttons you sometimes see on websites. The struggle is real. It's like trying to hit a bullseye with a dart while riding a kangaroo, practically impossible.
I can picture it. And nobody wants to accidentally click the wrong thing because the buttons are too small and too close together.
So true. What's the solution? Just make everything bigger.
Basically, yeah. The article says to aim for touch targets of at least 48 pixels by 48 pixels, big enough for a thumb to tap comfortably. And it's not just size. Spacing matters too.
It all comes back to that thumb-friendly idea. Okay, so we've covered the why and the how of mobile first, but what about the how-to? I'm sure a lot of people listening are wondering how to actually implement all of this. Thankfully, the article has some good tips, especially for small businesses.
They do. And they're all very doable, even if you're not a tech whiz.
That's good to know. The first one they mentioned was starting with a mobile-friendly template.
Which is a huge time saver. A lot of website builders and content management systems offer these so you don't have to start from scratch. It's like having a pre-built house frame. You can always customize it later, but you have that solid base to work with.
Exactly. You're not starting from zero. You've got that mobile-friendly base to work with. Makes a lot of sense. What other tips did they have?
Testing regularly is huge. They mentioned Google's mobile-friendly test.
Oh.
You basically run your site through it, and it tells you if it's up to scratch or not.
Sounds like a must-have.
Oh, for sure. They also mentioned Google's Page Speed Insights, which checks your site's loading speed and gives you suggestions. But there are other great tools out there too, like GTmetrix. That one's awesome for a really detailed performance report. And then there's Lighthouse, which is built right into Google Chrome. It does a full audit of your site performance, accessibility, SEO, the works.
So it's an ongoing thing, keeping your site optimized for mobile.
100%. Things change so fast online, you got to stay on top of it. Speaking of which, remember that Sydney Cafe we were talking about before?
The one that went mobile first?
Yeah. They're a perfect example of how much of a difference it can make. They totally turned their business around.
All because they made their website mobile-friendly. Amazing.
It just goes to show, when that mobile experience is smooth and enjoyable, you've got happy customers. And happy customers mean a happy business.
Absolutely. Especially with so many Aussies browsing on their phones these days. If you want to reach them, mobile first is the way to go.
No doubt about it. You know, it makes me think, we've talked a lot about the technical side of things, but there's another layer here that's so important. The human element.
What do you mean by that?
Well, think about all the different ways, all the different situations in which Australians might be using their phones to look at your website. Someone on a packed train in Sydney during rush hour is going to have totally different needs and behaviors to someone chilling on their couch in Perth on a Sunday afternoon.
That's such a good point. Their priorities are going to be different. Their attention span, even the way they're holding their phone is going to be different.
Exactly. So, yes, tick those technical boxes, but always keep the actual person on the other end in mind. What are they trying to do? What's going to make their experience easy and enjoyable, even memorable?
It's not just about making a website mobile-friendly. It's about crafting an experience that truly resonates with people, in whatever context they're coming from.
Now you're getting it. Mobile first isn't just a design trend. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about and interact with the online world.
Such a good point to end on. This has been super insightful. Thanks for diving deep with me.
My pleasure. Always a good chat.
And to everyone listening, we hope you've learned a thing or two about mobile-first web design. Remember, it's not just about pleasing Google. It's about creating a fantastic experience for your audience and setting your business up for success in our increasingly mobile world. See you next time.